got Angie Beagleman with us today. Angie Beagleman, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, Angie?
I'm good. I'm hoping your audience will be able to help me get back at my neighbors.
That's what we have.
In New York, I was working on a movie, you're probably too young to know. It was called The Exorcist.
Get out of here.
I did. I worked for Billy Friedkin, who was the director.
Really?
So I was on the production side.
HOA is something I never really heard of before I moved to Florida.
Yeah,
And this
horrible.
is the most ridiculous thing I've ever experienced in my life. For people that don't know what an HOA is, Homeowners Association, it's a bunch of people that live in your building or in your neighborhood. You can own your own home.
Community.
Yeah, and they vote for themselves, put themselves in charge of you and your house.
Sounds like the government, doesn't it?
They are their own little neighborhood government.
I wanted to get the most raunchy Seggs Magazines and flood their mailbox with them with subscriptions. I don't get mad, I get even.
Everyone's a victim!
So guys, once again, it's Gerard Michaels here. Gerard versus Evil, 4 o'clock on this great Thursday. Just get up, just leave work, just leave. The economy's in the tank, all right? What are you working for, your dollar? The dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Get up and leave. Strike until this thing gets better. What are you working for? It's $12 for a beer, you're making $25 an hour. Did you know that for you to afford the same lifestyle as your parents in 1990, if your parent made $80,000 a year, no, you know what? Let's just make it easy. If your parent made $100,000 in the year 1990, very good salary in 1990. If your parent made $100,000, in order for you to afford the same lifestyle as them in the year 2024, you would have to make $250,000 a year. In order for you to afford a lifestyle that your parents afforded at 80 grand a year, you'd have to make almost 250 grand a year today just to break even, just to have the lifestyle that they had. Somebody who knows what that's about, somebody who probably made 100 grand in 1990. We've got Angie Beagleman with us today. Angie Beagleman, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, Angie?
I'm good. I'm hoping your audience will be able to help me get back at my neighbors.
That's what we have.
Sounds good.
Angie, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into what will certainly end up being a class action lawsuit against me and my entire audience for helping you get back at your devious HOA. Let's talk a little bit about you, man. Tell my people who you are and what you do.
If I knew who I was, I'd tell you.
We're talking like from a theoretical perspective, right? We're not talking about like a Joe Biden, like you know where you are right now, right? Back to her.
Let's be perfectly clear. I'm a refugee from Los Angeles.
Oh no!
Yes, I am.
Really?
Yes, and I'm a fish out of water in Florida.
So a refugee from Los Angeles. So you were born and raised in Los Angeles?
No, but I lived there for an awfully long time.
Really?
I had to get out.
Really? How long were you in LA for?
Well, since the 70s. But I came and I went, I came and I went. I always reverted back to Los Angeles.
Were you looking to make it as an actress in Hollywood out there?
No, I was a lot more on the production side.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. What were you doing out there?
Well, I did it.
Casting couch? 70s, it was a big thing.
No, I actually, in New York, I was working on a movie, you're probably too young to know. It was called The Exorcist.
Get out of here.
I did. I worked for Billy Friedkin, who was the director.
Really?
So I was on the production side. And then after that, I went to Japan on another film called The Yakuza with Robert Mitchum. And that was a dud of a film, though. So I
don't know that one, but The Exorcist
that's a big
scared
one.
the hell out of me
too.
when I was a kid.
Me too. And
Yeah.
I was probably like 3 years older than Linda Blair at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
3 years older than Linda Blair.
when I worked on The Exorcist. Yeah.
Wasn't she like 12 years old?
Like 13.
So you were 16 years old when you worked on The Exorcist?
And you know why they hired me? Because I didn't wear platform shoes.
Oh, thank God. I thought that this was going to be a way worse answer.
No.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was going to be way worse.
No. So I did that, and then I got a film.
Because you didn't wear platform shoes.
Yeah.
They didn't like hippies?
Care. They were like, big Hollywood big shots. They didn't give a shit, and it was post-production, so I was cute and didn't wear platform shoes.
Wow. That's remarkable. And then so you decided you were going to get in production. You stayed in production in Hollywood for a long time?
Sort of. Then I went to Japan and on a film with Robert Mitchum. He was the star. Sidney Pollack was the director. And they forgot to cast the kidnapped daughter, which was sort of the theme of the movie. So then I got thrown into that part. So I did that. I was there for 8 months. And then I came back to Los Angeles. And then back to New York, bounced back and forth. And my father lived here, so I did the trifecta of Fort Lauderdale, L.A., and New York.
Got it. So you're a Jew.
Because of Beagleman. I'm actually a guinea.
Get out of here, for real? I've always said that the tribe and the mafia, they run like concurrent with each other. Once you get to a certain age, you can't tell the difference between the two outside of the food.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Jewish food's awful.
Yeah.
Awful. They should be arrested.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, it's I think gefilte fish. There's no Parmesan in that. You can't. You're not turning matzo ball soup into Italian wedding soup by any chance. No.
So that's my background, Gerard.
Wow, that's really interesting. So you got into production, but you never really wanted to act, or you did want to act?
I didn't. I used to do it in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Commercials and, crazy stuff.
You could tell you know the industry when you're a Ginzo, but you choose a stage name Beagleman.
Well, that's my father used to say. They're all Jews in the industry.
Yeah.
Get a Jewish name, but that's not why I did it. My Facebook name is Angie Beagleman. And my dog's name was Angie, and she was a beagle.
Oh.
So
instead of BoJack Horseman, there was Angie Beagleman.
Everybody liked the name.
And now you do comedy, Angie. So what?
Reluctantly, I might add.
Reluctantly.
It's only when David says, "Come down here, we need an audience."
Oh yeah. So you do comedy often.
I switch back and forth. Audience, performer.
Excellent.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. When did you start doing comedy?
Oh, a while ago. 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. What got you into it?
I don't remember why.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're out in L.A. for all those years. Were you single out in L.A.?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had 2 dogs, Angie and Howard Beagleman.
Really? Yes. 2 dogs in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Really? Were you running around being a dirty birdie?
No. I lived for my dogs. I would barely do comedy there because I wanted to stay home with the mutts.
Really?
Yeah. And I was so lazy, I would only stay on the side of the hill. You must know L.A., right? You said you were there?
I know a little L.A., yeah. I was out there, West Hollywood.
Yeah.
I like Manhattan Beach better, but...
Yeah. I was a Beverly Hills kind of
I bet.
person. But I wouldn't go past the hill, like... Flappers? I don't think so. Too far.
Burbank. Yeah, that's an interesting club.
The Ha Ha Cafe I'd go to once in a while, but I was sort of Laugh Factory comedy store type.
The Icebox and stuff too. Did you ever do the Icebox?
Yeah, but that
out
was really far. It's Pasadena, right?
Yeah.
I hadn't been there in a long time. That was a cute place, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ali Letterman used to book that place, man. She's great.
Yeah.
So you come back here to Boca.
Yeah.
And you call me up today. I'm like, Angie, why are you late? We're trying to record, and you're like, I'm stuck in this sex shop. How'd that happen?
I was. I'm looking for a way to get back at my neighbors.
Looking for a way to get back at the neighbors, and this is where our audience comes in here, okay?
Yeah, we want advice and help, and suggestions.
What happened here that we need to get back at first of all, the HOA. HOA is something I never really heard of before I moved to Florida.
Yeah,
and this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever experienced in my life. For people that don't know what an HOA is, Homeowners Association, it's a bunch of people that live in your building or in your neighborhood. You can own your own home.
Community.
Yeah, and they vote for themselves, put themselves in charge, of you and your house.
Sounds like the government, doesn't it?
They are their own little neighborhood government. I don't know how this is legal. I don't know how this is okay. I don't know how in a right-to-work state where you can opt out of a union, you can't opt out of an HOA. Listen, DeSantis, I know you're listening. You've done a pretty good job here, bro. But the HOAs have got to go. They've got to go. Insurance is through the roof because of the HOAs. The HOAs are pricing everybody out. You can have rent that's $2,000, which is a lot, but not unattainable. And then an HOA fee of an extra $900 a month.
You mean a mortgage?
Yeah.
Because if you're paying rent, you don't have to pay the HOA.
But they factor it into the rent. They factor it in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But we need the HOA for rules. We got to follow the rules.
Who do these people think they are?
They're rule followers, like my sister.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Your
Awful.
sister?
Head of the HOA.
No.
See, and you did a joke last night. I said my sister, I didn't realize how bad it was.
Yeah.
Till I met her dogs, 2 German Shepherds, Adolf and Ada.
That can't be true. That can't be true. That can't be true. There's no way.
I never saw a dog with a mustache before. Yep, that's her.
There's no way.
But let's be perfectly clear. The people I want to get back at are not necessarily the HOA.
Okay.
They're my neighbors right next door, parallel, waiting to bust me and my dog.
Really? So what's the? We got a couple comments I want to read, but first
Yes,
let's get into it. What is the beef between you and your neighbors?
Well, it started with the guy upstairs that lives upstairs because he's the head of the HOA, and he tried to pull rank. It was all about the dogs fighting one another. You have to have your dog on a leash. You have to have your dog on a leash.
What kind of dog we talking here?
Well, I'm not a rule follower, so bafagul with the leash shit. And I had to think I'm a Jewish? No, I'm Italian. So I have an old Cocker Spaniel that we run around the back, and he chases ducks and birds. And, oh, no, you got to have that dog on a leash. I'm like, why? We're not hurting anybody. Mm-hmm. So that started a whole fight with the guy next door. Now he waits for me. The dog isn't on a leash. I'm calling animal control. He's done that to me twice. His stupid-ass girlfriend comes after me with a taser. They're assholes. They're Nazi assholes.
A taser?
A taser.
Came back after you with a taser?
Yeah, and threatened me with it, like had it low down.
Because of your Cocker Spaniel?
Because the dog wasn't on
That's
the
Lady
leash.
from Lady and the Tramp, right? That's a Cocker Spaniel?
Yeah. The dog walks around with a teddy bear in its mouth.
So they come out with a taser?
This is how vicious it is, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my God. All right.
And she's got a nasty little Bichon or some little
Another just absolute
fucking fruit-ass dog.
Dr. Vinny Boombot says HOA equals communism. ATX1 says Alex Jones was right.
I don't know what Alex Jones said about the HOAs, but he's been right about a lot. Alex Jones, what really he's been right about, cut back to me, buddy.
Yeah,
what he's really been right about is the advertising that just came out. We're going to get back to this dog beef situation.
I'm with you, whatever you want to talk about.
But I don't know if you saw this. There's Rumble, Chris Plodowski from Rumble, and Elon Musk have filed joint suit against GARM, I forget what it's called, but it's advertising and responsible media, whatever, the government of advertising. It's the largest advertisers in the world, formed like an HOA. They've come together, Diageo, Nestle, Dunkin' Donuts, all these like massive companies who control 90% of all ad spend on Earth. They've come together and they've said, we're not going to, quote unquote, basically allow anybody to have membership in GARM while they are advertising on X or Rumble. And they named Steven Crowder, Alex Jones, and I forget who else by name, and said, if you platform these people, we will not advertise. And it's remarkable to me that 50% of the country who identifies, like, maybe you think Alex Jones is a crackpot, that's fine. Maybe you think Steven Crowder's an asshole, that's fine too. But you have all these companies that are actively saying we will only advertise with far left progressive company, with creators and whoever else. That's everybody who's advertising. You have the right to spend your money wherever. But now you're pressuring the platforms to get rid of people that half of the country agree with. They are trying to ostracize 150 million people.
Like us?
100% like us. Yeah, like
this is what I tell my friends. Pack your shit and head for the hills.
Really?
What are you going to do if Kamala and Tampon Tim get in? What are you going to do?
Well, we're here in the free state of Florida, right? You gotta
Bunker
think.
down with DeSantis?
Yeah, I think the problem is that there's a lot of people with a lot of money out there that don't get in the game. Like, you know, the one guy, the My Pillow guy, right? He advertises nonstop, and he makes so much money advertising. Like, why do these other companies? Like, to me, this is the greatest gold rush opportunity of all time. Like, you're like, oh, you guys, you don't want to advertise to half the country? I'll do it. Like, if you're watching this and you have a business, if you're watching this and you have a product or you have money laying around, like, this is the greatest opportunity to be in the creative industry ever. Hollywood is literally not selling to more than half of the population. Advertising is not trying to advertise.
Why? Because they're, they don't want to go, they only want leftist platforms to advertise
Yeah,
on?
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I mean, that's the idea. You know, everything comes back to, first it was ESG, right? These things keep changing. One of my favorite things with these hyper progressives is they like to say, like, the problem with conservatives is that your stuff is just wildly unpopular. And it's like, okay, communism is so unpopular, you have to rename it every 9 months. First it was communism, then it was socialism, then it's democratic socialism, then it's progressivism, then it's woke, then it's ESG, then it's DEI. Now DEI has become unpopular. What's it going to be next? Stakeholder capitalism, and you
for the hills.
Well, you were in Hollywood in the 70s and 80s. I heard it wasn't like this out there.
No, not at all. Nothing.
Yeah, you had Bob Hope, Ronald Reagan. What was it like out there?
Don't forget, I was a little kid. I was like 17 when I was out there.
It's too old for Roman Polanski, unfortunately.
So politics, wasn't same.
But it wasn't in your face nonstop. Like, I never got into this to talk politics. I was in politics, and I left politics because I was like, man, this sucks.
It didn't exist.
I didn't want to do anything with politics, but to me, they've made everything. Like, I can't watch the Olympics without it just being politics. Like, it's, it's nonstop.
I want to know, where do we make that left turn? Pardon the pun. In L.A., there was no real ethnicities out there either.
What do you mean?
None. There was Arabs, Chinese, Vietnamese. It's a melting pot out there right now. Mm-hmm. Total Hispanics. Nothing like that when I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there was always Mexicans, I imagine.
Yeah, but they didn't come across the valley.
Really?
There were none on the,
You definitely had black guys. You had Compton. You had Long Beach. There was, and also I reject this idea that the modern white person loves talking like they're the savior of black people in entertainment. Like, there was no black actors. There was no black singers. Like, Motown didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like there weren't black comedians. Like Richard Pryor wasn't a thing. Like, they like to act like now we've created a space for non-traditional, and it's like they've always been there.
Yeah.
You're taking credit for shit that happened 50 years ago.
Yeah, and it wasn't like racist. That didn't even come up.
Yeah.
That's where we made that left turn. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. When we probably as a country, when we got off cocaine and we got into antidepressive medications, cocaine. Everybody, we wanted, hey, let's have a good time. I don't know, man. I actually, all jokes aside, I've done a lot of thinking about this and I've done a lot of research on it, and I'm pretty much narrowed in on Obama's re-election campaign. In 2012 is when this thing really accelerated. They made a deal with the devil, with the global communists, and I think it's gotten away from them. I think they thought that they can control them and maybe corrupt them, but they didn't realize that they were dealing with ideologues, crazy people.
But you know what's really sad is this is all over the world. Like
global.
Like England, London is a mess with just immigrants and dirt and crime and same shit that we have here. Paris is the same way. Germany. Yeah.
And it's not the immigrants, man. I like immigrants. It's, I would like to trade half of the immigrants that want to be in America for half of the white people in Cal Berkeley, for sure.
Where does George Soros fit in your world?
Well, that's the thing. George Soros And what's George Soros run? Open Border Society.
Right.
So, I mean, they tell you what they're looking to do.
Where does BlackRock fit into your world?
Ooh. Now we're getting into it. You started your day in a sex shop, and now we're talking BlackRock. This is a hell of a life you've got going here, Angie. So let's get back to the comments, and let's figure out how to get back at your neighbors here, Angie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Skylar, hold on.
right.
Skylar's got the comments.
So we got Dr. Vinny Boombat saying HOA are everywhere, not just Florida. And ATX1 says HOA are crazy, high in Phoenix, Arizona.
Really? So it's not just a Florida thing. It's a Phoenix thing?
no, it's communities.
When did this happen?
Where have you been?
Well, look, I grew up in Jersey, and there's no way. There's
have
no way.
Yes, sir.
I could imagine somebody from up the block coming down to my father and saying, hey, you got to do something about your hedges. He would die before ever touching those hedges ever again. He would let those hedges grow to be 400 feet.
We actually have that, too.
Really?
You can only let them grow a certain height because they're marring somebody else's view of the window. Like, Buffalo, nah, the hell with that.
Who gets to tell me, are you paying my mortgage? Are you paying my property tax?
You're part of the community. This is all, we all own this. That's their rationale.
We don't, though.
Yes, you do.
We do not.
If you live in a condo situation, you do.
Oh, well, that's...
None of that is your property. It's the community's property.
That's...
I know. Don't look at me like that. I can't go for that either. Pack your shit and head for the hills. That's what I say.
I don't know.
Let's get back to how I'm going to get back to these
Let's
people.
get back to it. So tell the people, so you've got a Cocker Spaniel, and the Cocker Spaniel is beefing with the Bichon.
Yeah.
And you got yourself
They just want to make my life miserable.
You got yourself a crazy little lady that wants to just make your life miserable.
And the husband, too.
Yeah, because, he has to, right? Because
to
it's...
protect her.
Yeah.
So, and they stand there and wait for me to make sure that I'm...
Do you know their phone number?
I could get it.
See, this is my suggestion.
Okay.
All right? And now you got to understand, I am the veteran of 3 season-long minor league baseball prank wars.
Okay.
So I may be a little outdated because that was 15 years ago. I'm a little long in the tooth now, but one of the best ones is you find their phone number.
Okay, I could
and you
get
sign them up for every single telemarketing service that you can find.
Like how? What do you mean?
You take their phone number and you go to the website. You know their name, you obviously know their address, and you got their phone number, and you sign up for every marketing plan ever.
Like, give me an example.
Let's go. Blood bank, donate to Africa.
Okay. Save the animals.
Save the animals. Save the planet. You take one afternoon and you find 100 of these things, and then you can click like how often you want to receive marketing materials, and you say daily. I want to learn about making wells for kids in Africa daily.
Via mail or
I think you could do all 3.
Email?
Yeah. I think so. See, I can look it up.
They could block like the phone calls though, correct?
Yeah, but you just keep doing it.
But I won't know when it's stopped.
Sign up telemarketer.
I want to do something more sinister.
Prank. I don't know. That's pretty good. All right. What pranks can I sign up someone's phone number to make their life inconvenient? Always go to Reddit.
Okay.
When in doubt, go to Reddit.
Okay.
This person called me and harassed me for no decent reason other than because I liked her husband's post. Her husband is best friends with my husband, and I relate to his posts. She is unhinged and accused me of wanting to sleep with him. My husband says she has been abusive to this guy for years and cheated on him with sugar daddies many times. She called me several times, which I have no clue how she got my number, and said weird things and hung up. Where can I sign her phone number up for inconvenient pranks, etc.? And they say, sign their number up for as many dealerships as you can.
Like car dealerships?
Yes, I would say do 10 to 20 new ones every week. That is about the time some salespeople start calling less. Do this for about 4 weeks, and they should change their number by then.
Like how?
Then search their number on truepeoplesearch.com, get the new phone number, and do it all over again.
But physically, how do you do that? Go to, like, let's say Honda.
Apparently, you go to autobytel.com. That's
Okay.
AUTOBYTEL.com. And oh my God. Yep. You put in the zip code
Auto by Tel.
and their phone number,
Okay.
and every single dealership within 25 miles of that area
They're trying
code
to sell the cars.
will
to
try
them?
to call them about.
No, is there any way it could be traced back to me?
Yes, people will watch a podcast with thousands of viewers and say you got the idea from there, Angie. Yes. What were you trying to be clandestine about this? We're going about that the
No.
wrong way.
Just people in the HOA.
Also,
community.
Cars for Kids pretending to be her saying you want to make a donation. Those guys are relentless with follow-up calls.
Cars for Kids?
That's a great one. I can see Cars for Kids calling every day. Oh my God, that's
I like that one.
so good. And Cars for Kids is a scam anyway. That whole thing is like just a scam. You'd be good wasting their time so they're not robbing from other people. That's actually using your pettiness for good. Because the time Cars for Kids
Hey, pettiness? I don't think so.
No, of course not. Of course. Yeah. Using your powers for good. See, this is the difference between an Italian and a Karen, though. Right? A Karen would complain and whine.
Yep. I don't get mad.
No.
I don't get mad. I get even.
Now,
So let me get back to my original plan that
Tell
I
me.
asked you
Tell me.
about. I wanted to get the most raunchy sex magazines
Mm-hmm.
and flood their mailbox with them with subscriptions. That was all. That was a little harmless. But I can't find the subscription. You know how you could pull them out of the magazines
no,
long
Angie,
ago?
I don't.
Yeah, you could.
How do you know this?
Because they'd fall out of every magazine, not just raunchy ones.
You dirty birdie.
I even went today to look in a sex shop for those dirty magazines, but they're all wrapped up,
Yeah?
so you can't open them.
What'd you see anything in the sex shop really catch your eye?
Nothing that I recognized.
Nothing that you recognized?
Yeah, or how to use, or just holy crap.
Why?
It was
Because it's like a lot less hair than the 70s, or?
No, the swings and schmings and strap-ons and strap-offs and it's like, holy cow,
But nothing that caught your eye?
nothing. Well,
Really?
I was obsessed with the subscriptions from the
Of course, you were there. You were there for business. You were standing on business.
Then they had a little guy come around. He looked like Popeye, real old, kind of, not real old, but kind of alcoholic-y looking, skinny guy. Could I help you with anything?
Yeah.
They're not pushy, though. And I said, no, I'm just looking, right?
Yeah.
This part's on sale. And okay, so then I go to the front of the desk. It's like this, so you have to stand, and you can't see who's back there. So I said, oh, you guys must, not a soul in the joint. So I said, you guys must be really swamped on Halloween. They had a lot of outfits, right?
It's a nice way of calling them freaks. You're like, you guys must be swamped on Halloween.
Because, there's not a soul in the joint.
No, this is just Tuesday in Broward County. They're just going, they don't need Halloween. They got swingers parties on Fridays.
So I said to the girl, who I couldn't see, right? I'm just saying, oh, well, what are you going to be for Halloween? And she said, well, I was thinking of a school girl, or what was her other choice? And I was saying, oh, that's cool. That's cool. She says, but I don't think my boyfriend would like that. I have to get it approved. Right? So I look over the thing there, and she's the size of a beach ball with blue hair sticking up, tattooed everywhere. And all I could think of was, boyfriend, she's getting laid and I'm not? I'm doing something wrong here. Don't get me wrong, she's very nice.
I'm sure there's somebody in the comments can help that out, Ange. Also, you need pranks on a Friday morning and a date on a Friday night. Gerard versus Evil's got you, babe.
And meanwhile, the costumes that she was talking about,
Yeah.
tiny little mini things.
Oh yeah, you're like something that would look good on some girl that didn't look like me.
How the hell is she going to fit into those things? And she didn't think her boyfriend would allow it. Holy shit. And there you have Popeye standing next to her. He might as well have had a corn cob sticking out of his
Really?
mouth. Yeah, you should go in there sometime. It's a trip.
I would go to the sex shop with you anytime you ask.
They're
Angie.
very nice. They're
Anytime you
very
want.
nice in there. And they have a million different rooms with a million different things.
Which sex shop? I've never heard
He
of a
knew.
place like that. What's,
He knew.
He knew it? Skylar knew it?
Yeah, Skylar knew it. What was the name of that place?
Oh,
think
no,
it was,
we're not giving any free shout-outs. They got to pay to have their name on our show.
Is that who you want to align yourself with?
Yeah. Actually, you have a couple of accoutrements behind you there.
Okay.
We do another show with a professionally sexy person. So yeah, it's that I'm open-minded when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of that. The toys are fun and all that stuff. But
Yeah, toys are beyond belief. Toys in there.
oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of not exactly putting AA batteries in these things anymore, right? Like this, they got like the machine guns and all this other stuff. Yeah. So you were in LA in the 70s. I got to ask you, you ever shack up with anybody famous?
Shack up with anybody famous? Well, nobody.
The answer is clearly yes. You're just determining whether or
I
not
don't
to
kiss
say
and
it.
tell. I don't kiss and tell.
Yeah, what about bang and tell?
The thing is, though, if I said names, you wouldn't know who they were
Oh, I doubt. Come on, try
unless
us.
you were in the movie business.
Try it. Try us.
How about-
O.J. Simpson, yes or no?
No.
Oh, he loved blondes. You might have dodged a bullet there. Or a knife. You might have dodged a knife there.
That was after my time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I was in L.A. when I was 17.
So
How
you were
about this?
too.
Do you
So
know
you were
who?
too old for Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Too old for Roman Polanski.
That's what.
That was a weird thing when you were 17, though, in Hollywood. Like, this is during the age when they were, like, taking nudie pics of Brooke Shields at 10 years old. The 70s, very weird time with pedophilia
I
in
lived
retrospect.
right down the street. I was living in Barry Bostwick's house. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
He had a house on Portola Drive, right near the Manson murders.
Oh, yeah.
Sharon Tate's house.
So my family's lore on this is who knows what's real and what's not. And my aunt that I'm going to talk about, she just passed away. So, this is her story, and she literally took it to the grave. She was 17.
Okay.
My Aunt Susie was apparently, by all accounts, just an absolute knockout when she was younger. And she was a beautiful woman, like, she was
Regardless,
older, but she
yeah.
was my aunt, but she was
Right.
like clearly a beautiful woman. And she had gotten a movie role, but she had to be topless in the
Okay.
movie. So my grandma had to sign off on it. And the devout Roman Catholic that she was, I believe the terms that she said was hell no, right? And then Susie ended up getting so mad about it, she ended up absconding away to Florida with what became her then husband, and it was like a whole 40-year-long drama between the two of them. The role ended up going to none other than Sharon Tate. And Sharon Tate, now that's not the movie that she did that ended up getting her killed. It was the movie before that, I guess. So there was whatever. I got to brush up on my Barnett family lore, but
Filmography.
yeah, right. But apparently, they had offered her the role, and it was my grandma would not let her go topless in the film. She was 17 years old. They needed my grandma to sign off on it. She was like, no, and no daughter of mine, And Sharon Tate ended up getting the role, and then of course
Your grandma did the right
it
thing.
looks like it, right? Because then Sharon Tate was.
You can relate to the era that I came up with, and all the stars per se, was when the Rocky Horror Picture Show was out.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew all those guys. Tim.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
You knew Tim Curry?
I did. Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's real
What
sick
a talented
now.
dude! I thought he died. He's
No,
still alive.
he's fucked to the max.
Oh,
he had
really?
a heart attack and wheelchair bound.
Nah.
Can't talk.
What a talented
He's still
actor he
living
was.
in Hollywood Hills. But
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's maybe
Yeah.
one of the most underrated actors of all time.
Yeah.
Really?
Tim and the girls, Jamie Donnelly, and
I don't know Jamie Donnelly.
she was one of the dancers.
Oh,
there.
okay.
Meatloaf.
Of
He
course.
used to play baseball with Meatloaf in
Get
the
outta
Valley.
here. Loved Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, they canceled him for being a Republican before he
Probably,
passed
yeah.
away.
Meat.
Old Meat, huh?
It was Francis.
His name was Francis?
Yeah.
His name was what's his name? His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. What was Meatloaf like in person?
Nice guy. I mean, you know, this is 1,000 years ago, mind you.
It's 40 years ago.
Me, who else did they play baseball with? They had like a baseball team in the Valley.
What the hell were you doing in the baseball team in the Valley?
I wasn't. These were all my friends. We would go and hang out.
Really? How's Tim Curry as a human being? Hanging
Very
out with
nice
us?
guy.
Really?
Yeah, he's a British guy. Very,
British.
you know, classy.
Oh, yeah. Was he gay?
Oh.
Very gay.
Hello.
Well, it's just British. You never know. You know,
Rocky Horror
gay or
Picture
British,
Show.
50-50.
Yeah.
There's just, you know, like, who knows? You know?
Yeah, of course he was gay.
Gotcha.
But poor Tim.
But did you take a shot at it anyway? Like, I could change
no.
him. I could
He
convert
was
him.
a big star by then.
Yeah, but you're a cutie with the blue eyes, you
He
know?
was playing at the Roxy. What's the place next to the Rainbow? The pizza parlor next to on Sunset. The Roxy, I guess.
Yeah.
He was in. That was a theater
Rainbow
that he
Room,
was
Roxy.
in. Yeah, right next to each other.
I have a funny story about that. I went, my very first time I was in LA was, I guess it was about 8 years ago. And I was out pitching shows, right? I had a manager at the time who ended up being one of the worst humans ever. But, you know, he's bringing me out, he showed me the Hollywood Hills, hanging out at the Standard Pool, the whole BS, right? And I got no money. I'm broke, you know, and little do I know I'm paying for all this. But he like is explaining to me the history of LA. He's like, you're a history guy, you're going to love this. And we go to like the Viper Room. And then we go.
Did you go there?
Yeah, but we went there on like a Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking black hole.
Yeah, dude.
That place is.
It's exact. So we end up at the Rainbow Room.
Right.
And again, it was like Wednesday at like 3:00 in the afternoon. There's nobody in there.
Right.
There's one bartender who looked like she was like straight out of 1980s heavy metal magazine, rail thin with these giant, ridiculous fake boobs, and you know, a face that's been out in the sun for 30 years too long, right? Nice, sweetheart of a lady, but I'm like taking this all in, and this guy walks in, and he's got to be, I don't know, like 50, 60 something, and he's wearing zebra spandex pants that are like pulled up to his belly button, topless, no shirt, and like
Vest or
like football shoulder pads.
okay.
And he has bleach blonde hair. And I'm like, get a load of this. And so I start taking my phone out, and I'm like taking like a picture of it. And the guy he was with comes over to the table and is like, you fucking tourists, you can't let anybody like act like you've been here before, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is.
Who was
the
it?
bar-
Rod Stewart?
No, so the bartender kicks me out because I'm arguing with this guy, and then the manager's like, I'll handle this. I was like, no, wait, you telling me that asshole walked out of his house today? He looked in the mirror and goes, oh geez, I hope no one looks at me today. You can't bring me to the zoo and tell me now I can't take pictures of the animals. What are you talking about? So they kick me out.
Analogy.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they kick me out, and I go next door to the Roxy, and I'm fuming, but I have an iPhone, and I don't think that they know I can get touch tones on my phone, and I put $100 in, and I played Barbie Girl and Backstreet Boys on the Rainbow Room jukebox for about 4 hours from the Roxy. And I don't know. I thought that was so the guy ended up, I guess, being like either the bassist or the drummer for, what's the band, Skylar, that Lemmy was the lead singer in? The Motorhead?
Motorhead, yeah.
Motorhead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you think I know who the fucking bassist for Motorhead is?
Why on earth would you walk
Like-
around looking like that anyway?
And not want attention. Not want attention.
That's
The
LA.
only other time I've ever had a situation like that, I was in a bar, as I normally am, and there was a guy whose like whole face was tattooed, and I had a couple drinks in me, and this was like in Middle America. I think at the time I was still playing baseball, so I looked young, but I was still in great shape. And I'm looking at the dude, and he's like, "What the f are you looking at? You got a problem?" And I'm like, I'm looking at your face, your completely tattooed face. Like, what do you? I mean, you.
I'm looking at you.
You got your whole face tattooed. And you were like, man, I hope nobody looks at my face. Like, is that real? Like, for real? Like, I'm looking at you, bro. Like, he was very upset about it. And I'm like, all right, man.
Why on earth would they do that, though? They don't want attention.
Who knows with these people?
So you didn't have any pizza at the Rainbow Room, did you?
No, I did not.
The best.
Really?
Yeah, they had really good pizza.
Really?
Might have changed by now, but yeah.
No shit. So who'd you shack up with? Why are you trying to change the subject?
How about David Salvin? Do you know who he is?
David who?
Salvin.
No.
Don't know who he is.
No.
Kenny Ryan.
Kenny Ryan?
Yeah.
Don't
See,
know.
these are all production people.
No, you got at least
You
one
want a
actor.
star.
You got
You
an
want a
actor in there. I know
star.
you got an actor in there.
I can't think of a one.
Rock Hudson.
No, he was gay.
Ah. You got to turn one of them. It's LA. You just don't
And
know.
he had AIDS anyway.
It's a great way to stay thin.
It's a good thing I didn't shut up.
Was it well known that he,
I don't know. Doris knew.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, everybody knew after he got sick.
But he was very deep in the closet, though. Didn't he, like, marry Elizabeth Taylor or something like that? Like, was Rock Hudson married to Elizabeth Taylor?
No. That was one that got away from her.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you what. I was just in L.A. recently,
Mm-hmm.
and I was staying in someone's sublet apartment, and I couldn't work their TV. They had all this Roku shit on, and so the only thing that was coming on, I've grown to like Westerns. Shows you how backward I've become. So there's
Over there watching Jim West in his too tight pants.
Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors.
What was the Rifleman,
Rifleman,
right?
yeah.
I'm saying to my girlfriend, I really like the Rifleman, right? I've been watching it. She says, oh, Chuck Connors, one of the bigger queens in Hollywood.
Get out of here.
Big queen.
Isn't Chuck Connors who they based
Hey,
Leo?
Pa. Hey, Pa.
Isn't that who they based the Leonardo DiCaprio character on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Isn't that Chuck Connors? Isn't that who they based him on?
I don't know.
Really? One of the
didn't know
bigger
that.
queens.
One of the bigger queens in Hollywood.
Wow.
One never know, do one.
So what do we got in the comments? It looks like we got a couple other comments
Yeah,
there,
can
Skylar.
anybody help me with how I get back to these neighbors of mine? And I didn't mention they have a camera on me at all times.
Yeah, what do they got? The Ring? They got the Ring camera?
No, it's mounted up on the roof.
Really?
Yeah, pointing right at our garage.
But the HOA allows for surveillance?
It's on their roof. They got busted by it because they put it on somebody else's by mistake. So they got busted and they went out and they changed it and put it on their roof. Or
Yeah, well,
something.
clearly we're implicating you in in at least a misdemeanor here. So we got to make sure, guys, that we keep it somewhat clean. But like it's completely legal to sign somebody up for marketing materials. If it were me, I would find, I would find the husband's social media account, take his pictures and open up a Grindr account, and then somehow figure out a way to like let the wife know that the husband has a Grindr account. Let that thing play itself out. One does not know, does one? So just plant the seeds like Iago and Othello. Be real Shakespearean in our devious nature. Go ahead, Skylar, read the comments.
All right. B. Charlie says OJ didn't do it.
B. Charlie is one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever seen in my entire life. B. Charlie is just absolutely ravishing. Not gorgeous, though,
A
but
girl
ravishing.
or a boy?
Doesn't matter.
Not in today's world, no.
It's a girl, I think. I mean,
Okay.
it's a girl now. I'm pretty sure it's always been a girl, but, there's only one way to check. You got to get under the hood.
Kick
I'll
him
let
in
you
the
know.
balls.
Yeah, right? Hey, what you got under there,
Did you see they were talking about it at my house last night? All the HOA people, they come over every Wednesday for driveway drinking. The Olympic guy that was so well endowed, he knocked the bar off.
Yeah.
And he got disqualified.
That's right. Yeah. Honestly, if you're going to lose, that's how you lose.
I thought David should put that in his act, when he does the train thing with the guy's balls. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to lose, at least lose with the whole world knowing, like,
These
damn,
nuts.
Damn. That dude's
well
packing so much heat it cost him a medal in the Olympics.
That shouldn't be, though. It wasn't his fault.
No, it's God's.
That's right.
Yeah, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Do your nuts hang low?
I don't think it was nuts. I don't think it was nuts.
Oh, it was a penga.
I don't think it was the berries. I'm pretty sure it was the twig.
Wow.
That's a heck of a twig to knock a full
missed
pole off. Yeah, you could roll it back and it's. Why don't I tell you about TeleRx.com?
I would love it.
TeleRx.com is your absolute home for all your telehealth needs.
Okay.
Have you ever gone into a doctor with something that you felt really embarrassed about, like a night out in LA with somebody that, you didn't know may or may not have been sick? So then you go and you say, "Doctor, what are all these little bumpies?" And the doctor looks at you condescendingly and then hands you a prescription, and then that you have to take that to the CVS, and the CVS or the pharmacy then looks at the prescription and then looks at you all condescendingly, and then they write the prescription, and you got to stand there in your shame and condescension for an hour while they fill the prescription. Never again. All you got to do is go to TELYRX.com, TelyRx, where you can telecommunicate with a trained medical professional. They'll diagnose you right then and there, and your medication will be sent to your door.
Gerard, though, it's only for, diseases that you want to keep on the down low?
No, absolutely
or I
not.
could call and say I got a strep throat or something.
You could. You absolutely could. Like, why would you want to, exactly. Like, you're going to sit there, you have something small, you got strep throat. Do you want to go to the doctor, sit in that waiting room, pay the copay, take a whole day? Absolutely not. From now on, you go to TelyRx.com. And anything that's not like a Schedule 1 drug, like you can't get steroids or testosterone or anything like that, but you can get Ozempic or, semaglutide or whatever they call it. You can get that, I believe.
What about Adderall?
I believe you can. Skylar was supposed to check, but I should find that out. But I do think yes. So you go to TelyRx.com, you tell them what your symptoms are, a doctor prescribes you, it's sent to your door the next day. It's cheaper than a pharmacy. It doesn't have to take any of your time. And if you use the code SNT, for Slick and Thick, you're going to get 20% off of your first order.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah, TelyRx.com
Show me the letters again.
TelyRx.com. TelyRx.com. Use code SNT.
And what do they need from me? Like my insurance or
they don't even take
credit
insurance.
card?
Yeah, they're going to need a credit card.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is the absolute best. Unless you have like premium healthcare, unless you have top of the line, like, both of your parents were in the Army and you have like Navy Federal credit type stuff. Unless you have the best of the best, Blue Cross Blue Shield, this is the best option for you. TelyRx.com.
I'm gonna try it.
It's the best. It's the absolute best. Anything you need, it just makes everything so much easier, and it's
TelyRx.
Yeah, and it's less expensive. It's really fantastic. All the people should check it out. Do we have it pulled up, Skylar?
Yeah, we do. You ready?
Let's do it.
What's he pulling up?
Oh, did you see it?
No, I can't see shit.
Let's run it back again. And pause.
There we go.
Oh, and run it back again. Put it on her. Put it on her. Put it on her. Put it on her. Put the.
All right.
There you go.
Did they show him afterwards? Like, was he embarrassed?
Up, back a little bit. Back a little bit. Yeah, I got to tell you, I think that's twig, not berries. Yeah. Was he embarrassed? I think he was disappointed that,
That he lost?
that his,
Junk was hanging out?
I don't think he's embarrassed about that. I mean, that's a pretty revealing outfit, but I think he's pretty embarrassed that, he
got
lost
nixed?
out on a chance to be
Yeah, but think of the endorsements he could sign
you
up
imagine?
for. Like what? Name 10.
Oh, come on. Let's get right to it.
Okay.
Let's get right to it. Are we nuts? You got Magnum condoms, number one. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah. Who God already gave you a gold medal. Why do you need another one? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Then you got Blue Chew, Viagra.
What is Blue Chew?
What? Like, why you gotta act like you don't know what Blue Chew is?
I don't know. I see.
Why are you gonna act like you don't know what Blue Chew is?
What is it?
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
You know.
Do you talk sexy talk?
Blue Chew?
Yeah.
You think it's sexy talk?
I don't have a clue. Why do you think I'm asking you?
I think you know more than you
Hi,
think you know.
this is Blue Chew. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
What is your algorithm? Where are you getting that advertisement? What exactly?
I get on TV a lot. I see it.
Really? Blue Chew on TV?
Yeah, advertisements.
Blue Chew's it's a chewable Viagra. It's generic Viagra.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All these hot chicks that saying, "Do you have Blue Chew? You have Blue Chew?"
Yeah.
And they never say what it is.
Yeah, it's the
All right.
Yeah.
Get you up
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. And even if you don't have ED, it's a performance enhancing drug.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, It's pretty funny always too. Like all the people in the ED commercials, they always have like these hot older wives. They always, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't think that those guys are the ones.
They're
that
not
need
very
it.
clear though in that.
Like the
ad.
boyfriend of the blue beanie that you saw in the sex shop earlier. That guy's gonna need some Blue Chew. That guy's not getting visual stimulation. You know what I'm saying? That guy.
He's a chubby chaser.
You think so?
Yeah, it's gotta be. You should see her. Normally, when girls are fat or heavy, they have beautiful faces.
Yeah.
They're hiding something, but this one, no.
Really?
Yeah. Well, freaky, you know, with the fucked up hair and the nose shit.
Yeah. Not your type.
No.
Not your type.
I wouldn't do her.
You know, and let me talk about not doing her. There was a girl last night. I dropped in at the Sad Man Comedy Cafe last night, and there was a girl named Karen. I thought she was a very nice girl, but she started the night off trying to set me up with her daughter and ended up walking out of the show. I walked Karen. She did not like what I was talking about. Karen,
No, she's a little liberal.
Karen was the Karen that ever Karened. She is all about being a Karen. She had the Karen haircut. She had the Karen walk.
Yeah,
she had the
she
Karen
was.
scowl. She was bragging about getting a car dealership shut down. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
She's like the Mecca Karen. After you defeat all the Karens, this is the boss Karen, the last one at the end.
She took the comedy class there.
Did she?
Yep, and she didn't really like Michael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I said, well, did you get up? No.
Really?
Yeah.
I could actually see her being good at comedy. She's very smart. She's very witty.
She's a psychologist.
Oh, well, she takes
Just like my sister.
Oh, no. Friends like these, who needs enemies?
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Yeah, she's a Karen.
She walked. She walked. I told her there's only been like 3 names in history that have ever been retired. Like there's only ever been 3. Like we've never met anybody named Adolf. Like they retired the name Adolf. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't. You're not gonna meet many people named OJ. You know.
Orenthal.
You're not gonna meet many Orenthals. You're not gonna meet many. I don't think you're gonna meet many people with the last name Dahmer anymore. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't think
His poor mom.
for the next 50. Yeah, I think there's other moms that were poorer than his mom. But you know, yes, I guess she's an innocent bystander in it.
Mom.
But in the next 50 years, I don't think you're going to see a single girl named Karen.
That's a sort of outdated name anyway.
Yeah, I think by the year 2050, there's going to be 0 Karens.
Yeah.
It's going to go the way of Agnes. Why do you think Agnes just disappeared? Ethel just disappeared.
Yeah.
Just gone.
Nasty.
Yeah. You don't see many Peggies anymore, right?
Well, do you know Dr. Peggy?
No.
She's an Asian girl. She's a pot doctor
Is that right?
and a comic.
Really?
Yeah. Dr. Peg.
What exactly are you doing over here? All right, like when
Who?
you're out here going to sex shops, hanging out with pot doctors. You're
Yeah.
you're living life over here.
And she's a strange bird.
She's a strange bird.
Yeah. Shh.
What? Why is she a strange bird?
The doctor?
Yeah.
She just is.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
don't want to put her shit on the street.
Kind of do. You just
And if you
did.
need pot, give her a call.
That's so funny. You go to a doctor to get your weed now. I used to just go to a drug dealer.
Yeah.
What a difference, huh?
Telemedicine. You could call her on, on the.
I don't know if they have. I don't think they do medicinal. But you're talking about
She does,
Peg
yeah,
does.
you could
Well, look
call
at you.
her up.
You're out here giving free. You out here giving free shout outs on my show over here. What's going? No, enough of the free. No free shout outs, Dr. Peg. All right. If you like her, then everybody can
She
go.
don't need you.
Dr. Vinny Boombat says
Doctor, let's just get this right.
Vinny Gumbats.
It's Dr. Vinny Boombats.
Boombats.
It's Dr. Vinny Boombats.
Dr. Vinny Boombats.
And
The degenerates and
if people don't get the reference, may I suggest you Google or YouTube or even better Rumble, hopefully it's on there, Rodney Dangerfield,
That was his doctor.
who went to the great Dr. Vinny Boombats. So if you don't know Dr. Vinny Boombats and you don't know Rodney Dangerfield, do yourself a favor and spend the rest of the day finding out. That's going to be a good day, friend. A good day indeed. Go ahead.
The degenerates in this audience are not going to publicly implicate themselves to such shady efforts.
So true. DM her. We'll put up her social media. You can DM her and let her know what devious plots you have.
Yeah.
There's some more comments there, Skylar, and then let's take it out.
That's all we got for now.
Okay, my microphone just went off. All right.
That's it? Finito?
Finito. Unless you have something else you want to talk about. You got anything else you want to talk about?
I didn't tell him that I get naked when I get out of the car for the cameras.
Do you? Tell them what you were doing when you get out of the car. Give them a show. You were telling me last night.
And I do the Roseanne Barr thing with the crotch. And then I turn around and I moon them.
Do you actually moon them?
Yeah. But I don't know if they see me or not. It's late at night when I come home, so... Yep.
That's hilarious.
But they play it back. They've got it on camera because they threatened me to show it to the animal control people.
What?
I'm telling you, they are fucked up, these people.
They're going to show what to the animal control?
The dog off the leash. So I figured if they could see that, they could see this. And then animal control's going to go, what? What the hell is that?
Animal control could use a little laugh, man.
Yeah, they were nice. They called us and said, beware, you got lunatics living next door.
Animal control looked out for you.
Us.
Really?
That's right.
Wow. These must be nuts. These must be nuts.
Six, and they're young. I'm like, what are you doing living with these old bags?
Really?
Hey, different strokes for different folks.
I suppose so. Let's bring him out to a comedy show. Maybe that's what you don't say, hey, look.
I don't even talk to him.
Say, hey, give him an olive branch and say, hey, I'd love to have you come out to a comedy show. We deserve to be friends. You let me know who they are and I'll take care of the rest.
We tried. We brought him champagne. We tried to make amends. Nothing.
Really?
They're that fucked up, yeah.
Sheesh. Have you thought about taking some of your dog's poop and putting it underneath their car door handles?
You mentioned that, but they could do it back to me.
They could. Look, the thing about a prank war is that there's serve and volley. Yeah.
Yeah, but unless they don't know who's doing it.
I got a feeling they're gonna know.
Not the porno mag stuff.
Yeah, you don't think so?
No.
I like the dealership thing personally. I think the dealership is harmless but also infuriating. If I got nothing but 15 phone calls a day from dealers trying to sell me something, I would lose my mind. I really would. Good thing my phone number's unlisted. Yeah.
It's not sinister enough for me.
No, it's not
maybe
sinister
I'll
enough.
Try.
There needs to be blood for, Yeah. Otherwise, it's just why do it? Yeah. Who was that? Was that Sulla that said lessons not learned in blood are soon forgotten?
I like it. Got those wheels turning.
All right. Angie, tell people where they can find you.
Angie Beagleman.
You're going to have to spell that for my degenerate audience.
Beagle, like a dog, beagle, B-E-A-G.
Yeah, like the ones Anthony Fauci would cut the vocal cords off and then
That's correct.
And then have sandflies.
All kinds of horrible. I'd like to
Eat
get
their
back
face.
at that sick fuck, too.
You and me, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a guy that every day that guy walks around free is a failure for the rest of us.
And Bill Gates, he's right there with him.
Bill Gates is right there with him. Soros, you've got them all pegged, man. These are truly, truly bad, evil people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I gotta feel like it wasn't always like this, right? Like people talk about this as politics as usual. We just know it more.
We used to worship them, like Bill Gates. Oh, he's so smart, the computer guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he make that left turn?
I think it was always there. Well, his dad was CIA from the jump, I believe. I don't want to spread misinformation, but I believe his dad was a company man. So everything's not always as it seems. All this stuff, it's being controlled by somebody somewhere.
And Fauci and Gates were college roommates.
That can't be true. Is that true?
That's what I read.
What? That can't be true.
Look it up. They went to college together.
They were college roommates?
I think so. A Guinea and a Jew. No, I don't know what Bill Gates is.
He's Jewish.
Gates
Is he really?
Yeah.
Fact checked. Did Bill Gates and were Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci roommates in college? Well, who's going to fact check the fact checker? Like, like sometimes you read these fact checks and they're like, oh, that's not right because what they actually were was across the, fact check false. They were actually in the same dorm room. Like, they'll just constantly use semantics and wordplay. Claim.
I just came from a bank that will not release my girlfriend's money, $250,000 to Italy. She moved to Italy. She wanted a wire transfer. They won't do it, and it comes to find out that they blocked her.
So what happened?
The fraud department said, no, we're not doing that, and you were not allowed to call the fraud department.
What?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So they just stole her money?
No, she can't get it at it. It's in Chase Bank.
So if somebody
Chase, let me spell that for you.
if somebody takes your money and won't give it back to you, that's considered stealing, right?
Well, it's stuck there. Now she has to go through hoops and different kinds of paperwork, bureaucracy to get the ball rolling again.
That's the worst.
And this little fuck, Manuel De La Renta or something. I find it condescending when Hispanics go, Miss Lee, Miss Chirillo, Mrs. Lee. I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd you get that from?
What? You find that condescending? Why?
Yeah, my name is Lee. Did I tell you anything else? Or
Your name's Angie. Stop with the kayfabe.
They like Angie, especially Latinas. Nope. All right, Miss Angie.
Oh, because they go Mrs. and then the first name instead of the last name.
Or it doesn't matter. It's the Mrs. and the Miss.
You don't like that?
No, I do not like that.
See,
I find it condescending. But you're a man.
See, I feel very differently. I do, because I think we lost something as a culture when we didn't start everything with like the respect of Mr., Mrs., Ms., whatever. Because like from there, then you can have the grace to be like, I'm not Mrs., I'm Angie. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, Angie, nice to meet you. I'm Gerard.
And then they say, okay, Miss Angie.
After you tell them not
to? That's their culture. They put it, even maids do that. Miss, Mrs.
See, I think that's okay. I'd rather that than, my name's Gerard. These are my pronouns. And it's like, okay, well, guess what I'm never calling you ever. Guess what I'm never calling you ever now.
I didn't like him. He was a condescending, arrogant little millennial.
Oh, wow.
And he wasn't going to help us.
Oh, jeez.
And I wanted to say, you give me my money. Well, fucking buy and sell you piece of shit banker. Do I have anger issues? No.
That's one way to Karen for sure. That's one way. I'll fucking buy and sell you. That's what you said. I can buy this place 15 times over, you son of a bitch.
But you don't have the right papers. Unbelievable.
You're like 86 pounds and 85 pounds of it are rage.
Yeah, it's true.
Just wake up every day.
Yeah.
What's your morning? You wake up.
Coffee.
You get some coffee.
Yeah.
You look outside. It's a beautiful day. You go on Twitter, and within 3 minutes, you're like, "Fuck this guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck the Democrats. These liberal pieces of shit."
Yeah. And
you're awake at 9.
My sister's Miss Sunshine.
Oh, the worst.
Everything's great.
Oh, she's on what was that? Mommy's Little Helper, the pills that they used to put all the women on back in the day.
Ah, with the rule playing. She loves rules. When she was little, she had like that yellow sash. She was one of those.
No.
Yep.
So she's been a narc forever.
Yep.
Wow.
Cross guards.
Yeah. The security officers.
Yep.
Who were the ones that used to make like narc on the kids in the school hallway if they were like smoking in the bathroom or something? They'd walk around with the orange belts.
Own flesh and blood. Sad, huh? Doesn't Tampon Tim want us to snitch on our neighbors now?
Yeah.
That alone should get him bounced out.
He's got a lot of things. The
snitching though, really.
Yeah, but they just love a groveling white guy. That's what they like. They like a white guy that goes, "Oh, this is a great thing to have a black female boss."
Oh, I'm just like, is this guy gay?
He might be. I don't know. He definitely he doesn't look like he's very high in testosterone.
Did you see his wife?
I did not.
She's got the rainbow band on her head and fucked up blonde shit for hair.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, I just there's nothing about the modern Democrats I identify with. Like I don't find them fun to be around. I don't find them funny. I don't find them. Huh?
They're progressives.
They're progressives. I've never seen more people. I've never seen more stupid people convinced they were smart. And you see this with comedy. All these progressive comedians that are just stealing other people's bits.
Did you do much comedy out there, like
in LA?
On the West Coast?
Yeah, I bombed all the time. I bombed
because
everywhere I
too
went.
Conservative?
Probably, yeah. And I really didn't do political stuff when I was out there, but I just, I didn't understand how much of LA comedy was just begging for white women and black guys to like you. It's like it's just pandering. It's just white people be like, "Am I right?" Like, "Oh shit, white people suck. Give me my Netflix special."
See, I was
Men, am I right? Men are the worst. Yeah,
I was nasty. Picked on the homeless. Picked on everybody.
Yeah, but you're not. But also, I mean, it's when were we doing it? I'm talking like I was doing it.
Not that long ago.
2000
6 years ago.
Yeah, and you were at the store.
And the Laugh Factory.
Interesting. I only ever played the belly room at the store. I never got into the main room.
Belly room.
Belly room's great. Belly room's great.
Yeah.
I worked with Theo Von there a couple times. It was a lot of fun.
Room, wasn't it?
I bombed so atomically at the Laugh Factory.
You did? Why?
Oh, I bombed so bad. I bombed.
What happened? Did Jamie yank you off the stage?
No, but they gave me the light early. I was supposed to do 12 minutes, and I think they gave me the light at 8.
Wow.
No, I bombed. I really did. And this was probably...
Who'd you play with?
He's pretty famous now. I was with ICM. I just gotten signed by ICM, and they got me all these spots and flappers. I did 8 spots in 5 days. It was cool. Met a chick at No, I'm gonna tell the story another time. That's too long of a story. But yeah, what the guy is he's a famous Persian guy or something like that, and he wears pajamas on stage. He's got millions of followers, and it was his show, and the whole crowd was nothing but Armenians and stuff like that, and
plenty of them out there.
Yeah, and they were not vibing with what I was throwing out there, and I just hadn't reached my fuck it stage in my career yet where it still mattered to me.
You could care less.
Yeah, if I did that now, I would just take the rest of my time and be like, all right, y'all want it to be this way? Roast. Okay. But no, I was like, oh man, I really hope they like me. And if you take it personally if your material doesn't hit. You're like, oh no, they don't like my material. I'm not smart. I'm not funny.
Do what I do.
Right here. I got your fucking material right here. Oof. Yeah, you've seen my act. I don't give a shit now, and I'm better for it. But yeah, I bombed atomically at the Laugh Factory.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very bad.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, man. But
Doesn't
then,
matter.
huh?
I fucking hate those people. Doesn't matter.
The improv is even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I couldn't avoid ever going back to LA, I would. I have a 72-hour rule with LA.
You don't need LA anyway.
I don't think I do. No.
Nobody does, really.
Yeah.
All the comics had to satellite out of there to get gigs.
Yeah, but that's what I don't like because I used to have other places because I didn't need LA. I can go to Nashville and I can go to Austin, and now those places are very much LA adjacent.
Well, Nashville is. All the Californians.
Very LA adjacent. I love Nashville. Love it. I got stabbed in Nashville and still almost moved there.
And still loved it.
Yeah, most of that story was my fault. I deserved everything that happened up until the attempted murder. They took that too far.
I learned stand-up in Nashville.
I loved it. I love Nashville. I think it's just one of the best stand-up towns in the world. The people are just there to have a great time, have fun. But each time I go back there, you can tell because I go back every 6 months. I'm going to be there at the end of August. And
doing comedy?
Yeah. And each time I go back there, it's a little bit more, a little bit further left, a little bit more judgmental, a little bit less fun, a little bit further left, a little bit more judgmental, a little less fun. It's just why do these people even go to a comedy club? You're not there to have a good time. There's a narcissism to it. Yeah, you're making it about you.
Yeah.
And it's how come I'm not the star of the show? I'm going to make sure.
I'm just as funny.
Yeah, dude. Go do something else.
Get up.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Like Karen
Get the
last night, I said, "Why don't you tell David? He'll put you up on stage."
Yeah.
I kind of dared her.
Uh-huh.
She didn't go for it though.
She walked.
Yeah,
She walked. She didn't like what I was talking about.
she walked.
And she walked. Yeah, you know, she wanted to have a quid pro quo. She wanted to go back and forth. That's not how this works, babe.
She's a
I got the microphone.
Where was her husband?
Huh?
Where was her hubby?
I don't know.
She talked about him a lot. Are we boring you? I can't.
No, not
see
at
you.
all. You guys are doing great.
I can't see you.
Is there any more comments and then we get out of here?
Yeah, we have a few. Luke himself says he's
on?
here. Great
What's up,
show.
Luke? How you doing?
Jake says Gerard and Skylar 2024. I guess he misspelled my name for some reason. He also said this woman is awesome, which I agree. Progressive is like cancer, which I also agree. In East Tennessee, Luke himself says is solid red and based.
Nice. I like Chattanooga too.
All right.
Chattanooga's cool. Chattanooga's
Never
not
been
fun.
there.
Chattanooga's dope.
How
Chattanooga's
about
cool.
Memphis? Have you been to Memphis?
I have not, but I get the most requests I get to perform in places I've never been are Arkansas, Memphis, and like Seattle area. And I've never
Wow.
been there, so I got to get that figured out. One of my I tell you, I love Middle America, like small town America. That's like pushing back a little bit. Like these try too hard blue cities and red states I always find hilarious. Like Greenville is one of the most beautiful cities in America. Greenville, South Carolina is such an incredible time. But like there's a bunch of like young progressives that like think everything about South Carolina is like racist and white and therefore wrong. So they like do these like corny little protests and stuff. They're washing people's feet. Like they don't realize how corny they are. Like, oh dude, Asheville, like I hate Asheville. I love Greenville. I hate Asheville.
I don't know much about that.
But it's the little towns have so much heart. I know that's so cliche to say. Not that Oklahoma City is a little town, but like nobody ever talks about Oklahoma City for how much fun it is. Oklahoma City is awesome. On the weekend, Oklahoma City is incredible.
Wow.
Bricktown Comedy Club is one of the best comedy clubs in the country, but the food there is incredible. The people are awesome. I couldn't believe how much fun I had in Tulsa. I couldn't believe, like every time I go to one of these places, your first reaction, or at least it used to be for me, is like, man, I'm getting booked on a Tuesday in Omaha. This sucks, dude. But then you go and you're like, dude, Omaha's dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Des Moines, Iowa, you would never think is like awesome. I would tell everybody, I call it double A towns.
What about Utah? Have you ever played there?
I played in St. George, Utah, which is basically like Arizona,
Vegas,
Nevada,
isn't
though.
it?
Yeah. Really beautiful, my God.
St. George.
Yeah. But I don't think Dry Bar is knocking on my door anytime soon. I don't think I'm going to be doing Salt Lake City like, hey, you fucking guys. You guys want to hear about the time my girlfriend made me wear a mask in bed and no condom? Anyway, thanks for the Mormons and the Latter-day Saints for coming out to tonight's show. Enjoy your 1% beers and drive home safely. I would love to, though. Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, it's I call them double A cities, like where double A baseball is, where minor league baseball. That's Memphis. Find out where there's double A or triple A baseball and go hang out in that city, and I bet you will have the best time in your life. Nashville, triple A baseball, right? Oklahoma City, triple A baseball. Go to a double A or a triple A city, and it's the best cities in America. That's my. I'm telling you right now. That being said, stay as far away from the single A cities as possible, because the single A cities, the cities I played in, Newark, Camden, York, Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Tennessee. Stay away from the single A stadiums. Don't go do single A towns. Do double A and triple A towns. Although Toccoa, Georgia is one of the best times I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, Luke himself says he's in Greenville, Tennessee, which is a small town right in North Carolina border. Mm-hmm. Beautiful place.
Yeah, that's where Ginger Billy's from. The great Ginger Billy is from right around there, man. Adam Perkins, what a Brilliant guy who's put together some career for himself. I love him to death. I know industry he's in. He's not allowed to say that. You know, we're friends and everything like that. So we're not friends. I don't know him. The guy, I disavow me. But great dude, funny guy. Check him out. And check out Angie Beagleman. Angie Beagleman, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a round of applause for Angie Beagleman. There we go, Angie Beagleman. Angie, it was so great. I hope you come back again sometime. Anytime. And look out for your DMs. These guys, these devious monsters will show you how to get back.
I'll give you an update.
Definitely give us an update. Hopefully not from behind bars.
Neighbors.
I'm more interested in what you're going to do to the banker that pissed you off.
Yeah. Manuel Moncastillo.
Manuel, go with God. Everybody, have a great day. This is Gerard versus Evil. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Everyone's a victim!